Ever since I was a young girl, I dreamed of finding a place where I would finally fit in. Well, I found it. It's called Wonder Valley, and it's the perfect place for a Wonderhussy. Now, you guys know I love being out in the middle of nowhere, and this place really is the middle of nowhere. Basically, I think the history of this place is, it's not really that far outside of the Los Angeles metropolitan area. So back in like the 50s or 60s, they sold these plots of land, like little mini homesteads, to Los Angeles suburbanites. And they would sell you, I think, 5 acres for like a really cheap price and a kit to build a little cinderblock cabin like this. They market them to these families in Los Angeles to use as kind of, I guess, weekend getaways, you know, like your little getaway ranch. Maybe 2-3 hours from LA, so it's not really that long of a drive. But I guess, you know, over the years, families realized that there wasn't really much to do out here, and it was pretty desolate, and it was never really going to pick up and become a big Palm Springs type destination. So a lot of these little cabins just became abandoned. So now this entire desert is strewn with these tiny little abandoned cabins that my understanding is that they're all sort of remnants of these old homesteads that were sold to these suburban LA families. But when they realized how harsh an environment it was out here, they just kind of gave up and left them sitting here. So now I guess you can buy land and a cabin for real cheap out here. It's just very, very primitive, very rustic. You gotta drill your own well for water. It's pretty hardcore. But I don't know, it's still a pretty cool place. And a lot of people that are getting priced, like artists and artsy types, are being priced out of Los Angeles, even priced out of, well, Joshua Tree is right down the highway, Yucca Valley. Those are cheaper than LA, but even that's getting gentrified to the point where people can't afford that. So I don't know, my impression is that people are just moving farther east past 29 Palms and into Wonder Valley. My favorite thing in Wonder Valley is right here at the side of a lonely stretch of Amboy Road. Just when you think you're never going to see anything but sagebrush, you come across this amazing dusty desert dive, the Palms Restaurant. This place is like the Moss Isley Cantina. Okay, now it's Sunday morning and I'm here at the Palms Restaurant, which is known for its Sunday morning brunch, okay? Everyone from the whole area, from miles away, comes to brunch on Sundays at the Palms because they have great Bloody Marys, they have great breakfast food, and it's just a great ambiance. I'll show you. Everybody comes here for brunch on Sundays. The place is packed. Whoa, look at this place. Oh, artwork on the wall. Desert artwork. Crazy lights. Creepy mannequins. Look at that. Oh, phone booth, cool. Oh, I think this phone actually still works. Look at that. You don't see these very often. There's actually fine cell signal out here. You don't even need a payphone. Oh, look, t-shirts for sale. These t-shirts are $1 a piece. If you want to buy a shirt. You got a little thrift store section here. Oh, look, a Minnesota Timberwolves t-shirt. Oh, wow. Oh, Tony Hawk. Look at this. Wow. There's a jukebox, a pool table. Back here's where they have bands play. They have an open mic every Friday night. I've seen some really cool shows here, let me tell you. There's all kinds of seating inside. There's a piano. Great place just to hang out. And then there's this amazing patio in the back. Or if you want to sit out in the sun, it's even better with a beautiful view of the desert. And then here's a stage where they have really interesting concerts and events. It's another angle of the stage area. They have these little mini festivals here every now and then where they host little mini festivals. And then you can camp out back in the desert there. They have some shade structures and a little porta potty. Free camping. Okay, I lied. The Palms restaurant is super cool, but it's not actually my favorite thing in Wonder Valley. My favorite thing in Wonder Valley, and the reason that I keep coming out here is I have these friends who have this crazy sort of compound out here called the Cat Ranch.
All of the sharing.
It's basically this crazy compound. I know the light's kind of harsh right now, so it's hard to see. But you can see here we're in kind of like a front yard area with all kinds of crazy stuff piled up. Old bikes, old corrugated tin, boards. So it's basically an actual cabin. Here's the front porch. Screen door. Actual glass windows. But it's very rustic inside. Look, it's mostly one big room. And my friends that own this place are German, or the guy is German and he loves techno, so there's always techno music playing here. It's kind of a mess right now because we just had a big party. But basically, I'll try to give you a sort of a panorama. It's one big room. Sort of subdivided into areas, but like there's this kitchen island here with a propane griddle, and actually it has a vent to suck all the smoke out, and some kitchen supplies, and then there's an actual kitchen here with a sink. It's not plumbed, they have to truck water in and put it in a big holding tank. And then there's a little oven and stove and refrigerator that are propane also, and they were taken from an old RV. And then this main part of the house, I think well, first of all, this entire cabin was built by a blues musician, right? So the part that we're in, this one room, is the core of it. Then they built all that weird plywood stuff around it on the outside. So for this was the heart of the house that the blues musician built. And this right here was a dinette. Originally they turned it into a bed. So it was kind of like a living room because there's a wood burning stove there, and if you can picture there being a little dinette table here. But he turned it into another bed because he always has extra people staying over. And then this is the only kind of interior wall here with this weird design on it. And on the other side of this wall is the bedroom, which has this amazing skylight over it. This is the guest bed where guests stay. There's even a dresser and a mirror. I can't get my reflection because I'm not fully clothed. He's a big nudist, so most of the people that are hanging out here are half naked. He's really into, well, he's German, and you know Germans are very comfortable with nudity. Look at this. And just little details like that are what makes this amazing cabin. It's like this kind of shrine alcove that the walls are made out of. I'm not even sure what this is, but it's really some kind of cool plastic stuff. And then this, look at this Buddha head or whatever it is. He's just stuck on a piece of rebar in a big gulp cup. Actually, it's a Burger King cup. That's crazy. Anyway, back into the interior here. It's got a wardrobe, some extra clothes and blankets for guests, sheets and towels. Now, my friend only lives out here 1 month a year. He lives in Berlin most of the year, but he comes out here in the winter time to get away from the miserable winter in Berlin because it's so cold. So this is that's his suitcase with all his clothes. That's a mattress. If he has overflow guests, you can just throw that mattress down there on the floor there and sleep. I've done that before. And then this side of this room is kind of like an office. He's got his bulletin board up with his task list and his project backlog, all his, different items of things that he needs to take care of. Oh, there's a picture here. You can see that's what is a bed now in front of the fireplace, but it used to be a banquet, like a dinette. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then this little kind of ironing board is the desk in the office. So this whole thing is off the grid. There is no running water. There's no power. Everything has to be plugged into these batteries that he has. I think he might have some solar panels on the roof. I don't know anything about electronic stuff, but that's how he has it all plugged in. And that's what we're listening to the music off of. Really a nice little place. Very cozy. Oh, wow, look at this cool painting. I just noticed this. Got some old license plates from, I guess, Saudi Arabia. Or Kabul? Maybe that's Afghanistan. Okay, in here, there is actually a bathroom in the cabin. It's very rustic, but there is a sink and a bathtub. Again, it would all have to come from this water tank. Look at the windows. But I mean, the blues musician who built this cabin originally, he lived in it full time. My friend, you know, only comes out here 1 month a year. Okay, now back here you start to get more of a cabin vibe. And that's because, oh, by the way, there is a toilet, so if you need to go to the bathroom, and there's even a shower actually, but this shower is really cool because check it out. It's open. Oh, it's just a window. Last time I was here, it was completely open. You could just walk through it. Interesting. Oh, by the way, look at the floor in the shower. How cool is that? But yeah, there is a bathroom. I mean, if you're staying here, you mostly just pee outside in the desert and use that for number twos because you have to dump a bucket of water in to flush it. But the whole reason he's got this cabin vibe back here is check this. The pride and joy of this cat ranch, sorry about the light, is back here. It's a sauna, a little tiny sauna. He's German and he's really into sauna culture. So it's probably gonna be really hot and dark in here, but it's this little sauna that's just big enough for maybe 6 people max, and that would be very cozy. And he just got this brand new Russian kind of like sauna stove thing. I'm not sure you can see what's going on here, but you put, there's hot rocks in it and you pour water on it and steam comes out that pipe. So it's all about sauna here at the High Desert Banya. That's actually the reason why I look so tore up right now compared to earlier in the video is we just went through a very punishing sauna session, okay? It's called an Aufkurs. And it's about 10 to 15 minutes of sitting in this thing, and it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And he pours more and more eucalyptus water on the rocks. And then he swings this towel around in the air like a helicopter that forces the hot air from the top of the room down on you like this heavy blanket of heat until you think you just can't take it anymore. And you know, he has jugs of water in there, so everyone's drinking water and sweating, and finally it just gets so friggin' hot. And he finally goes, okay, you can get out now. Well, I did 5 sessions last night, and I think that's probably why I didn't have a hangover this morning, because I drank a lot, but I sweated it all out. So we're gonna do the same thing this afternoon or this evening, and we just did our first session, and that's why I look how I do. Anyway, because he's so into sauna culture, like, nudity is no big deal here, so pretty much the whole time I stay here, we're just walking around half naked. Just put like a little, kind of like a loincloth around your waist, so that when you sit down it's not unhygienic. But keep that in mind if you ever want to come visit this cat ranch. There will be naked people. Okay, here's out the back door. Or side door, I guess. This goes into the side yard. You can see it's just miles and miles and miles of plywood walls and barbed wire and weird stuff strewn about and little decorative elements added here and there. It's very artistic. It's kind of like this compound reminds me of a cross between a Mad Max movie and Burning Man, if you've ever been to Burning Man or know what that is. Just weird stuff everywhere you look. Like, look at this little minimalist barbecue. We cooked up a bunch of meat on that once. A few years ago, we had this huge meat party. Tons of meat. And then back here is just sort of like a enclosed backyard. But the coolest thing back here is in here. There's a guest cottage, okay? So if he's got guests, he can sleep some people in the main cabin, but he can also give you a private option back here. Look at this. I stayed in here once too. This is the guest cabin. Little cozy bed on the floor. There's a wood burning stove because it gets really cold here at night, okay? There's even a second bed up there, so you could sleep up to 4 people in this guest room. And it has its own private little stove and sink. I don't know if this is hooked up for propane or water, but it could be easily. And then there's also a desk in here if you need to sit and do some work. And plenty of daylight from the open window with this beautiful view of the desert. Right back there is the bombing range that the Marine Corps base at 29 Palms uses. So sometimes in the morning you'll get woken up by explosions, and it's kind of freaky. Look at this cool chandelier. Some books up here if you need to read. A little bit of everything. Oh, and he also has a workshop in here, like a little work shed. Check this out. For, you know, he's got to keep a lot of tools and stuff on site because a place like this, stuff is always breaking and falling apart, so you're always having to do repairs. Sorry the light is so wonky in this video, but it was either shoot it with bad light or don't shoot it at all. I thought you guys might be interested in seeing this. Weird stuff. I don't even know where he gets all this stuff. Like, look at these old scissors, how rusty and old these are. Not sure they would even cut anything. Or look at this. Oh, it's a head of a pickaxe. That's what that is. Interesting. I love this place, and I try to come out here every year. They usually come out in like February or March, so for the last 5 years I've been coming out here pretty much every year. I skipped last year because neither one of them, him and his friend that come out here, neither one of them came out. And I'm not going to come out here by myself because he boards it up when he's not here, you know? Ooh, just got out of another round of that sauna, and that thing is hot. Like I said, he soaks branches in water full of like eucalyptus oil or any kind of essential oil, then he beats you on the back with it, and it gets so friggin' hot you think you're gonna die. Whew, and then you come outside and it feels so good, but it feels even better. There's a shower here I'll show you guys. Basically, it's just cold water coming from that water tank up there, but it feels amazing after being so friggin' hot in that sauna, especially when you do this at night. Like right now it's not that cold outside, it's 4 p.m. or so. But if you do this at night, it's freezing out here and there's nothing but stars overhead in this open air shower. It's a really cool experience. You just want to rinse off, get all the sweat off, cool your body temperature back down, and that's it. Now I can put my robe on. All right, I got my bathrobe on. I got a White Russian, and there's only one thing to do, and that is climb up to the roof and watch the sunset. Think I can get up this rickety staircase? Let's see. Old wrought iron staircase. Spiral staircase. Goes right up to the roof. One of those really nice flat roofs. But gotta be careful. You gotta leave your feet to this, or shoes off when you go up here. But once you get up here, it's a beautiful flat roof. And it's a great place to watch the sunset. So let me just kick my flip-flops off here. Oh, there's my shadow. Yay! Wowee! Look at this beautiful desert. There's my friend practicing his fire spinning without the fire. There's my rig. There's the rest of the ranch, the desert. We're gonna look right into the sun now. Sorry about that. What's going down over those mountains? Here's the rest of this amazing desert. Check it out, flying a kite here. It's perfect conditions for that. Here's to sunset. Here's to the cat ranch. And here's to Wonder Valley, California, USA.